Hi, I'm Marcia Winbeckler, and my husband Roland and I own CakeSuppliesPlus.com. We're professional cake decorating instructors, and we've been on the Food Network and TLC's Ultimate Cake Off. And we've done life-size cake sculptures of and for celebrities, and photos of those can be seen on our website too. Now I would like to show you how to make some sugar ice to go with those sugar bottles that I showed you how to make in my previous video. And some of the supplies that we're going to need are, of course, the protective gloves again. So I'm using a silicone measuring cup, but you could use a glass measuring cup. I have some isomalt sticks, or you can make your own, and this is the isomalt crystals, and instructions on how to make isomalt from the crystals is on our website. Just click on the Candy Tutorials link that's in the left column. Also, I wanted to mention that if you cook your own isomalt, it usually has a little bit of a yellow tinge to it. I have several tips on our website on how to keep that to a minimum. To melt some of the ice cubes to make them nice and shiny, I'm going to be using a creme brulee torch. I have a silicone spatula for stirring a little ice cube tray, and we have these on our website. They're the perfect size to go with that bottle that I showed you. And I want to show you, besides the cubes, I want to show you another way of making ice. It could be coral. It's you pour it over crushed ice, real crushed ice. You pour the melted sugar over it, and it makes a real cool effect, and I'll show you how to do that too. And to do that, you need a bowl that is heat proof. I'm using a stainless steel bowl here that I have sprayed with the non-stick spray just to make any cleanup easier for any sugar that might stick on the side of it. Let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is break up either your pre-made isomalt sticks that you have or the pre-made isomalt that you've made and let set up. You want to put that in a microwave-proof measuring cup and put that in the microwave at 30-second intervals and stir between each 30 seconds to see how far it's melted, whether it's ready to go or not. Now the first thing you need to do before taking the sugar out of the microwave is put on your gloves to protect your hands. Okay, I have my isomalt all melted here, and I'm going to set it in my regular oven set at 275 for about 15 minutes just to get rid of any bubbles. So I have my melted isomalt, and I just want to pour it into the different wells of the silicone ice cube mold that I have here. Again, these are available on our website, CakeSuppliesPlus.com. Be careful to not overfill them, because then it's going to mess them up and they won't have as nice of a shape. They'll be harder to break apart. Incidentally, I use this same mold when I pre-make a batch of isomalt from the crystals, and I pour it into the silicone ice cube mold here. And this is, each cube is approximately equivalent to one of the pre-made sticks. These silicone measuring cups are really handy because you don't waste the isomalt that's in there. You don't just have to soak it in water and waste it. It cracks off of the side of the measuring cup. And you can just store it in a bag and remelt it. Now I can either let this set up at room temperature or put it in the freezer for about 20 minutes, and then I'll pop the ice cubes out. I've taken the silicone ice cube mold out of the freezer, and you can see how nice and clear they look before they're taken out, but because of some of the surface tension from the silicone, the other sides will be frosty of it, and you may want to just take a creme brulee torch to the other sides if you want it clear, but be careful not to over melt your ice cubes. So I just want to turn this over and pop them out. And after you pop the ice cubes out of the silicone ice cube mold, this is what the isomalt looks like. It'll have one really clear side, which is the top that you poured, and the other sides will be somewhat frosted. So you can decide which way you want to use them, or you can do a real quick pass with the creme brulee torch, but be careful not to melt them too much or they just look like melted ice then. So kind of a neat little effect that you can do to go with your ice cubes if you're doing a cooler cake or something with some beer bottles or wine bottles, is to pour a little bit of the melted isomalt out. And you can even make it kind of a puddly shape. And then take one of the ice cubes that you've made, and preferably one of the ones that's a little shorter than the others, so it looks like it's partially melted. Then let that set up, and then I'm going to blast it with the creme brulee torch, and it'll melt the top of the ice cube, and it's a real cute effect. So for that melting ice cube that I showed you earlier, how to pour the puddle, now I'm just going to take the creme brulee torch and just give a quick once over on the ice cube so it looks like it's kind of melting down into the puddle. Also kind of clears up the ice cube a little bit, so if your ice cubes come out of the tray a little bit frosty, then this is how you would clear up the outside edge of them. Now to make sugar ice using a heat-proof bowl and crushed ice, and I've sprayed the bowl with the non-stick vegetable oil spray. All you do is take the melted isomalt that you've melted in the microwave, and just let it set for a minute or so to let the majority of the bubbles come out. You don't have to put it in the oven for this because the bubbles really do not matter. And then you just pour the melted sugar over the ice and let it firm up, and it kind of just settles down in all the nooks and crannies of the ice and then firms up. And then I'll take it out and remove just the sugar. And so to remove this now, I just reach in and pull it out and remove as much of the actual ice as I can with my hands, and then set it aside to dry. Set it on a silicone mat, and you want all the regular ice out of there that you can get because that will dissolve the isomalt. So get out as much as you can and then let it set up and dry. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. And here's what the sugar ice looks like after you've removed all the regular ice from it and let it set and dry for a little while. And you could break some of these pieces into smaller pieces if you want. And this same effect is great for making coral or even sort of a flame effect if you used red isomalt.